2K Sports, it's Thursday night basketball. It'll be Kevin Durant, the Oklahoma City Thunder, facing off against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. And now we go to San Antonio with Kevin Harlan and the 2K Sports broadcasting crew for today's broadcast.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. The Spurs happy to be returning to San Antonio after the road trip and going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year. Home court advantage played a part in last year's season series. Each team took their home game in a 1-1 split.
And you go back to the matchups last year, they won the season series, but then when they met in the playoffs, they were taken down. So this ought to be interesting tonight.
And the starting lineup for the Thunder brought to us tonight by State Farm. Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Kendrick Perkins, their front court trio. Martin is out there with Russell Westbrook. And for San Antonio, Parker and Manu Ginobili, their backcourt. Duncan out there with Boris Diaw, and it's Leonard in at the small forward position. Clark, they just got a little lackadaisical, I thought. When it came time to meet up again in the playoffs.
Well, you know what, Kevin? Sometimes that happens when you have a team's number early. You get a little overconfident, a little comfortable. You have it all year long and can match up well with them in the playoffs, but you have to play them harder than you did during the regular season. It's a different game, regular season to playoffs.
So different, you're right. And that one's good. Durant.
His offensive game is so refined, guys, extremely well developed in just about every aspect.
Ginobili attacking, shoots off the step back. They get it back. It's stolen by Ibaka. From deep three-point range, Durant, no good.
Well, I love watching Greg Popovich coach. He's such an amazing guy, has a great feel for his players. I was privileged to play for him for 4 years in San Antonio. And one thing about Pop, he cares about you as an individual. Beyond basketball, he genuinely cares about you and your family. And the players feel that. That's why they play so hard for him.
Here's Westbrook, following the score by Tony Parker. Durant attacking. Westbrook, that's good. And a nice assist from Durant.
Well, he did a nice job of getting himself into just enough of an open area to find that spot for his shot.
Going back to Coach Popovich, those personal connections, Steve, he made with his players. Some coaches, don't want to go there. He does. He's not afraid at all to reveal a lot about himself.
I think relationships are really the key to being a great coach. The players want somebody that they can really talk to and enjoy being around. Sometimes coaches are too distant from their players, but Popovich is the opposite. He wants everybody to know that they're part of the family, and he's in charge of the family, no doubt. And sometimes he can be a tough father, but in the end, you feel great about being part of that unit.
And the basket by Ginobili.
You know, Kevin, that's just him doing his thing. I mean, that's who he is, launching himself at the basket. I mean, he thrusts himself at the basket. He's an angry driver and attacker of the rim.
Now here's Durant. Launches it. And the Thunder, another three.
Kevin Durant, three-time NBA. Actually, he's led the NBA in scoring the last 3 seasons. Remarkable when you consider how young this guy is.
Here's Parker. 14 points from him the last game against New Orleans.
And no question, you look at his assist totals, and they tell you what a nice job he was doing of really spreading that ball around.
Well, he's come out strong offensively, hitting a good percentage out there right now.
Durant, the youngest ever scoring champion back in 2010, so naturally also the fastest to 3 scoring titles as well, Steve.
Well, and to think that he's been able to accomplish everything that he has, and he's still in his early 20s. It's just amazing. Of course, leading his team to the finals a year ago as well. Become one of the most dominant players in the league, and the scary thing is he's only going to get better.
You know, some teams just know how to ramp it up in the postseason, and the Spurs are certainly one of those teams. I mean, Utah is one of the toughest teams at home, and the Spurs went in and swept them.
Now let's go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to catch up with head coach Scott Brooks.
It's the first time they'll see the Spurs this season, and Coach is excited to see how his team handles it. He said When you can measure yourself against cagey vets like Duncan and Manu, you learn what you'll be working with on the year. We'll see what he has soon enough, gentlemen.
Thank you, Doris. And for the Spurs last season, Steve, it was key to sweep Utah as they could rest up for the next round. Really helped them along the way.
Yeah, in fact, I thought they were the team to beat until finally getting swept away by Oklahoma City 4 straight after winning the first 2 games in the conference finals. But what a fantastic year for the Spurs. They were the best offensive team in the league. They just ran into a younger, more athletic team in the Thunder.
The Thunder leading by 5. Got a piece of it. Leonard with the steal. And now the fast break, Ginobili with the ball. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
How about Tony Parker's year last season? Maybe the best of his career. And the Spurs needed it because they've been aging the last couple of years as a team. But Parker, just phenomenal. Really the leader of that club offensively.
And he makes the first.
And you know, you look at Tony Parker, 30 years of age. He's born back in May of '82. He's played the 3rd most games for the Spurs in franchise history after Tim Duncan and David Robinson. He clearly is one of the greats in the team's history, no doubt.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Splitters checked in for Duncan. Jackson comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Maynard kicks to Lamb. Collison, he kicks it to Cephalosha. There's the dish to Lamb. It's stolen by Green. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Green with the ball.
Yeah, very opportunistic defense there, leading to those points.
That's exactly what they'll do to you, Steve. They will pounce on your mistakes.
Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs winning their last game against New Orleans.
They took advantage of an opposing defense that looked completely out of sorts in that game, guys.
Yeah, they didn't come up against much resistance at all. I mean, they had success with pretty much whatever they tried.
And San Antonio has possession after Oklahoma City gets the 3. Jackson drives in, and it's good on the assist by Parker.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Collison with a screen on Parker. Here's Maynard. A 3-pointer off the mark.
And with the Thunder, this is Scott Brooks' first head coaching opportunity, and there's no question he's made the most of it. He was Coach of the Year back in 2010, and that team has so much stability as an organization, but also as a coaching staff and as a roster. They seem to be getting better and better every year.
Here's Maynard. Steven Jackson making his last shot. And the pass to Maynard. From outside the arc, no luck.
Shooting-wise, he's having a tough quarter. I mean, he just seems to have gone cold. Can't find the basket.
Leonard dishes to Green. Outside Jackson. Up top Leonard. Over Maynard. Leonard, no luck.
Boy, he had a good look at that one. You hate to miss that shot.
Here's Jones. Rebounded by the Spurs. Parker kicks to Splitter. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. First trip to the line for him here.
You know, yeah, guys, last year was a rough one for him at the stripe. I mean, it's going to be hard for him not to improve on those numbers. They were that bad.
And Splitter drops them both. And here is Durant. It's Westbrook with the drive. For the 3. No good on the buzzer beater. Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. It's the Spurs. They lead by a bucket. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
I was impressed with their transition game, guys. They really got out and ran the lanes.
Yeah, they did. I mean, no better way to get easy buckets than through fast breaks. You know, it came down to the end of the season between the Thunder and the Spurs last year for that #1 seed out west. And the Spurs were able to get it just by a nose, but the Thunder kept pace with them in the conference.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the Thunder. Baca is out there with Durant. Then there's Martin. That's Thabo Sefolosha. And it's Westbrook in at the 1. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, the Thunder's Russell Westbrook is kind of a different mold at the point guard, more of a scorer. Coach Scott Brooks says, how can you not love this guy? He plays with so much passion. He plays for the team. He wants to be coached. He understands that he's not a finished product. We love what Russell brings us. He's a tough point guard, and he's one of the best in the league. Kevin?
Seems like a good fit. Thanks, Doris. The Spurs have been solid at the line so far, 4 for 4. And a big part, Clark, of why they were able to keep pace was their play against other teams in the Western Conference. They just waltzed right through them, Steve, and it was, for them, a pretty easy venture.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. They would finish with a 34-14 record against other teams in the West. And, that put them right behind the Spurs, and that's why those two teams were the top seeds going into the postseason.
There's the bucket. Good. And it's 7 points for Kevin Durant. Shot from 16. Drained for 2 points. And the Spurs lead by 5.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Tries again. That's good. Durant's got 4 points this quarter.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit. I think the thing that sets Kevin Durant apart is the fact that he's about 7 feet tall, and yet he's got elite shooting guard skills. I don't know if anybody in the history of the league has had his ability to shoot with range and to create shots with his ball handling at 25 feet. Just amazing.
Rebounded by the Spurs. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand.
Yeah, and the fans out in Utah are hoping for a win. That's a big game.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Boris Diaz checked in for Splitter. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Steven Jackson. James Anderson, he's checked in for Daniel Green. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patrick Mills. Clark, going back to Durant's height, 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, whatever you want to agree on. The Thunder have even started to play him at power forward in certain situations. He can bring the ball up as a play. He can play the 2 with his shooting. I mean, he's all over the floor.
What he brings with his package of shooting, speed, scoring ability, and strength is only going to enhance all of that presently and as he moves forward in his career.
Neal passes to Parker. Pass to Leonard. Back to Parker. Money shot. Offensive rebound. Leonard dishes to Diaw. Straight up. And strong with the one-handed jam.
That kind of play will get you some brownie points with your coach, no doubt.
And with your fans, too, Clark, on a big dunk like that.
And even with the announcer.
Oh, yeah!
We all love it.
And it's Durant missing.
Looked like an easy 2 points right there.
He's kicking himself for that. A good way to get to the top of the Western Conference is to have the most wins when playing other Western teams. The Spurs did that with a great mark on the year. I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Out to Parker. Parker with another miss.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
So both teams making some changes here. We always hear about how tough and brutal the West can be, Steve, but the Spurs made it look so easy with how they handled their conference schemes.
Yeah, it was really shocking, Kevin. I mean, everyone knew the Spurs would be good, but not that good. They went 35-13 against other Western teams. And that winning percentage interconference is really what allowed them to get that #1 seed going into the playoffs.
Sefolosha kicks to Perkins. Ibaka, the pass to Westbrook. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Westbrook's got 14 points.
He's looking to have a big game. He did a solid job in the first, but he's building on that now here in the second.
Duncan left side, the 17-footer. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Now, he took advantage of that mismatch size-wise, went right up with it.
Yeah, he loves those mid-range jumpers.
Stolen by Ginobili. Gets it to go. Ginobili's got 4 points in the quarter.
That's turning good defense into quick offense, Clark.
And that's the way to operate. Get up the court quickly. Don't waste any time. Whenever you have a chance to go fast.
Steven Jackson's checked in for San Antonio. Green comes in for Patrick Mills.
9 straight points for them off of wide open looks from deep. Something has to change for this deep.
Yeah, they're just giving up too many easy shots out there. They've got to close out harder, get a hand up, make him put it on the floor.
I've just got to say this. I mean, the Thunder fans have really been spoiled since the team moved to Oklahoma City. 4 years in, and they've made the playoffs in all but the first season.
Kevin Durant's checked in for Jones. Took him no time at all on that one. And that's now 11 points for Kevin Durant. Spurs leading by 7. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. He feeds it to Duncan. Moves back up. Rebounded by Lamb.
I think he's capable of shooting the ball much better than he has so far. I don't think there's any doubt about that, guys.
That's good. 23 seconds left in the first half.
Winding down, they're going to go for the last shot here in the quarter.
Yeah, I like the recognition there. They're going to play for the last shot, just as you said.
Ginobili right side. Ginobili right side. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Good!
That's got to feel good. Ending the quarter on a positive note.
Yeah, you would know that feeling well, my friend, wouldn't you?
And we're through 2 here in a good one. Spurs lead by 2.